1983, the championships were about as far south as you could go in the continental U.S., right in my backyard where I was working as a TV reporter at the time, Miami, Florida. Been a rather raucous few years in the city. We had the riots, we had the Mario Cuban boat lift, and sundry other things, but things were calming down and it was nice to welcome DCI to Miami. Things were not so quiet overseas, though, for the United States. A terrorist bomber had hit our embassy in Beirut, Lebanon. Later in the year, a suicide bomber would hit our military headquarters in Beirut, killing more than 200 U.S. soldiers and Marines. Seemed to be a disproportionately high number of Florida boys there, so I was on my way to cover the aftermath the day after the bombing. Back here at home, Michael Jackson dominated popular music. His album Thriller, one of the biggest sellers of all time. Star Wars continued to dominate the box office. Return of the Jedi just bringing people in droves. The TV finale of MASH drew a record audience, and the telecast that year drew Chuck Mangione as my co-host, and he was blown away by what he saw and heard out on that field at the Orange Bowl.
I don't blame him. That was the year of the Garfield Cadets. Rocky Point Holiday, The Mask by Bernstein. They bring home the first title to the East.
East, East, East. The chant just rocked
It really
through
did.
the Orange Bowl.
It probably cost them prelims.
No.
Yeah, no, really. It was so loud that they could not hear any of the vocal commands in prelims, and so they were undefeated all year long. Santa Clara, there they are again, right on the top, actually take the preliminary contest, but the Cadets come back in finals and really put it all together, breaking the California dominance of the title.
That certainly was a high point, but there were some other great moments on the field.
Well, there were. In addition to that terrific Z-pole reshaping thing like the Cadets do, the Cavaliers come along with a whole geometric kind of thing. It's Steve Brubaker's first year of writing, and I think they'll end up being the core to watch. Pines Rome with huge red flags and that kind of thing. It's not a year for popular music much, but I do think that there is a kind of exception with Suncoast Sound.
That was their debut in the top 12, and they certainly made an impact.
Well, they did. They did The Greatest Love of All, and they used American Sign Language so that hearing impaired actually wrote letters that said how beautiful it was that they gave lyrics to the music.